Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody is having a splendid Wednesday afternoon. That you're just having fun. You're enjoying life. You're living to your fullest potential. So much really good, super chill things are happening in the world right now. just existential dread. Just had to get that out really quick.
37% increase per day?
Yeah, there's a 37% increase in existential dread. That's fine. I started spitting. That's okay. We're getting through it. All right, we are getting through it. I hope everybody is, just hanging out. I forget you have a cooler intro than Bear. Hey, shout out to Lauren, who is great at her job. Okay. So we got a lot of interesting news to talk about today. This is the Refuge Report, where we talk about real news, really happening for real. We don't lie to you and tell you nonsense. Everybody knows about the weather, so we're not going to talk too much about the weather. I will do a brief weather report. I'll do it like Ollie from Family Guy. It's cold outside! There you go. There's your weather. It's cold outside. People are getting snow. Other people will also get snow. It's really exciting.
There will be snow being got.
The snow will be done got, and you're going to get it. That's the weather. Back to you, Lauren.
Well, on the West Coast, it is on fire.
On the West Coast, they have the opposite of snow right now. They have fire, which is crazy.
And super sad.
And super sad for all of the bushes.
Okay, I would like to note, whether you believe it's 80% of the area or 80% chance. Thursday, we now have an 80% of something of snow. And Friday is now 90.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. So, it's okay. That's all right. You'll have that on those big jobs.
So money.
Oh my gosh, it's the boss. I'm going to answer it live on the internet. Oh, he hung up. Well. Rebuilding an old mobile home. Having the time of my life. That's awesome. So, shout out to everybody in the chat. Guys, share the show. We're going to talk about the real news today. We're going to get really deep into what's currently happening globally as well as nationally and how it might affect you. So, what's up, Grumpy Panda? Praise Yahuwah, the Bat Mom, Down to Fish, Cody Cassidy, Paladin, Kermode Bear, Noreen Makuga, Jessica Powell, Red Bowser, Dano, Matt W13, Robert Bates, and then we got Ghost is here, Dylon is here, Double Agent O'Derrick. There's a ghost. Ooh. It's very funny. I'm going to school right now, and some of the people at my school think that it's haunted, and they're like, "There's a ghost here." I was like, "Yeah, it's really not a problem for me." And they're like, "You're not worried about that?" I'm like, "I'm 0% worried about that.
0% worried.
I'm this much worried about that. I have this thing called Christ, and he has covered me with his blood. I'm untouchable. So, yeah. I ain't afraid of no ghost. Matt Bear is here. Robert Bates is here. Scuba Rob is here. The man, the myth, the legend.
Scuba, did you go scubaing with the new kit?
Scuba! He's out. He's somewhere organizing something. I can feel it. Angry American Mutt's here. Journey of John is here. Tyler is not here. Tyler says, I'm not here. Tyler's not here. Just so we're all clear and we're on the same page, Tyler is not here.
What are you talking about? Sounds like a ghost.
Sounds like a... Ooh, spooky. Jay is here. Listening to the Pallet Shop. Shout out to you, Alex. Okay, whoever that is. Scuba Rob says, I leave in 10 days.
Nice.
Grandma Ginger's farm is here. May the Lord bless. He is blessing. I promise you that.
Do you farm ginger?
That'd be so
No.
Cool. Is your name ginger, or are you farming ginger the plant?
Or
both.
Or both. More epic.
Ginger's Ginger Farm.
You should start it if you're not.
That's pretty cool. I'd do it. I'd farm that. That's gonna be my new thing. I'd farm that instead of the vulgar one. All right, guys, let's hop into the news here. Dave's not here.
Man,
Dave's not here, man. All right, guys. What do we want to talk about? We want to talk about the Gulf of America, the America Canal, the 51st state of America.
can you imagine if in our lifetime this happened?
I will literally riot.
Bob's by himself in the street, just like, ah!
Fix our problems first. Fix our problems first. That will be me in the street if we take on any more responsibilities from anywhere else. I'm so done with Team America World Police.
Can we just like make Canada break off and then come around to the Gulf of America so that we can get to it easier? I just don't want to travel so far.
I don't want to deal with it. I would like to. Has Donald Trump heard of Detroit? Make Detroit your problem. He's
Make
like,
Detroit great again.
Make Detroit great again. Make Chicago great again. Make Los Angeles, which is literally on fire, great again. Can we do that before we start focusing on, I don't know, the Panama Canal, Mexico, freaking Canada, all these other places? Like, guys, we've got plenty of work to deal with here in the United States. Talk about a little bit of what is it called? You know, where like it's illusion. It's like, look over here.
It's illusion.
It's an illusion.
You know that video?
No more responsibilities. Like, good grief. He's like, make America great again. And by that, I mean, I'm going to add a bunch of new things into America. No. Fix us. I don't know if Flint, Michigan has water yet. Like, come on, guys. Like, this is ridiculous. Make Canada free. I don't care about Canada. I said it. I don't. I care about America. Call me a nationalist. I don't care.
Reach
That's
to
fine.
the orange man.
Good grief. It's all smoke and mirrors. I agree, Tyler. We were talking about that today.
How much can he possibly do in a 4-year period?
I'm actually curious to the chat right now. We got 79 people watching. Do you think Donald Trump is good or bad? Just in the chat, good or bad. That's all I need to know. I don't need to know your reasoning.
Please hold. I will make a poll.
We'll make a poll right now.
Orange man bad? Or
Oh,
orange
gosh.
good?
Lamppost said it perfectly. Get rid of all the crime bags first. It's like scumbags and criminals put together. Those crime bags. Listen here, you crime bag. I'm going to use that. I'm using that on the street. Next time I find a criminal, I'm going to be like, listen here, crime bag. And they're going to be like, what? Just go with it. Do you think Donald Trump is good or bad?
He's a crime bag.
You'll care about Canada if they become the 51st state. I won't, actually. I really won't. Kermode's got a base answer. No man is good, only the Father.
Dang.
Dang.
That's really good.
No man is good.
Rick, if you're in here, you paid for my lunch, and I appreciate you.
Nice, Rick. Context for good or bad? For the nation, for the world, for the people?
Here's my thought, and I will not name this person. The guy who likes the robots and wants to put the robots in your brain, okay?
Elon Tusk.
I don't know who that is, but, you know, we'll go with it. I'm so scared of him, you know?
He doesn't see super good.
I'm just not sure.
He's a bad man.
I don't know.
All right, let's get into the news a little bit. So, thousands are fleeing as brush fires continue to burn out of control in and around Los Angeles, and homes are being destroyed. California firefighters are battling wind-whipped wildfires that tore across the Los Angeles area, destroying homes, clogging roadways as tens of thousands fled, and straining resources as officials prepared for the situation to worsen early this morning. The flames from the fire broke out Tuesday evening near a nature preserve in the inland foothills northeast of Los Angeles, and they spread so rapidly that staff at a senior living center had to push dozens of residents in wheelchairs and hospital beds down the street to a parking lot. The residents waited there for their bedclothes as embers fell around them until ambulances. I'm sorry, my page just was weird. Ambulances, buses, and even construction vans arrived to take them to safety. Another blaze that started hours earlier ripped through the city's Pacific Palisades neighborhood, a hillside area that along the coast dotted with celebrity residences and memorialized by the Beach Boys in their 1960s hit Surf in the USA. In the frantic haste to get to safety, roadways became impassable when scores of people abandoned their vehicles and fled on foot, some toting suitcases. There is a conspiracy theory right now that Mike informed me about. That currently the homes that are being burned are related to certain criminals that maybe a certain music producer ratted on. Did he much? I don't know. Did he rat on him? Get what I'm saying there? Okay. Continuing. The traffic jams on Palisades Drive prevented emergency vehicles from getting through with a bulldozer, and bulldozer was brought in to push the abandoned cars to the side and create a path. We looked across and the fire had jumped from one side of the road to the other side of the road. Trainer said people were getting out of their cars with their dogs, their babies, their bags. They were crying and screaming. A third wildfire started around 10:30 p.m. and quickly prompted evacuations in Silmer, a San Fernando Valley community that is the northernmost neighborhood in Los Angeles. The causes of all three fires are under investigation. Bum, bum, bum. Flames are being pushed by Santa Ana winds topping 60 miles per hour in some places. The winds were expected to increase overnight, producing isolated gusts that could top 100 miles per hour in the mountains and foothills, including in areas that haven't seen substantial rain in months. The situation prompted the Los Angeles Fire Department to take the rare step of putting out a plea for off-duty firefighters to help. It was too windy for firefighting aircraft to fly, further hampering the fight.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's crazy. The erratic weather caused President Joe Biden to cancel plans to travel to inland Riverside County, where he was to announce the establishment of 2 new national monuments in the state. He remained in Los Angeles, where smoke was visible from his hotel, and was briefed on the wildfires. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, the best agency around, approved a grant to help reimburse California for the firefighting costs. If I know one thing about California, they are short on cash. No comment. All right. Officials didn't give an estimate of structures damaged or destroyed in the Pacific Palisades wildfire, but they said 30,000 residents were under evacuation orders and more than 13,000 structures were under threat. Governor Gavin Newsom visited the scene and said many of the homes had burned. By evening, the flames had spread into neighboring Malibu, and several people were being treated for burn injuries, and a firefighter had a serious head injury and was taken to the hospital.
Dude.
Things are expected to worsen overnight.
Burn injuries are literally, like, it's one thing to get, I know obviously not like a really deep laceration where you have to have arterial reconstructive surgery. Like, you cut your finger on a knife, ouch, that hurts, you put your Band-Aid on, 20 minutes later, you're probably not feeling it a whole lot. A freaking burn, though?
A burn, though, bro?
No. Ouch.
Just after midnight Wednesday, the Eaton fire, which started around 6:30 p.m. the day before, had quickly burned 1.6 square miles, 4 square kilometers, according to fire officials. By no stretch of the imagination are we out of the woods, Newsom warned residents, saying the worst of the winds were expected between 10 p.m. Tuesday and 5 a.m. Wednesday. He declared a state of emergency. As of Tuesday evening, nearly 167,000 people were out of power in Los Angeles County, according to tracking the website of poweroutage.us, due to the strong winds. Recent dry winds, including the notorious Santa Anas, have contributed to warmer than average temperatures in Southern California, where there's been very little rain so far this season. Southern California has seen less than 0.1 inches of rain since early May.
That is crazy.
That is crazy. The Pacific Palisades fire started around 10:30 a.m. and quickly consumed about 4.6 square miles, or 11 square kilometers, and sent up dramatic plumes of smoke visible through Los Angeles. The neighborhood, which borders Malibu about 20 miles west of downtown LA, includes hillside streets of tightly packed homes along with roads nestled between the Santa Monica Mountains and stretched down to the beaches along the Pacific Ocean. Longtime Palisades resident Will Adams said he immediately went to pick up his 2 kids from St. Matthew's Parish School when he heard the fire was nearby. Meanwhile, he said embers flew into his wife's car as she tried to evacuate. She vacated her car and left it running, Adams said. She and many other residents walked down toward the ocean until it was safe. Adams said he had never witnessed anything like this in the 56 years he's lived there. He watched as the sky turned brown and then black as homes started burning. He could hear loud popping and bangs like small explosions, which he said he believes was the transformers exploding. It is crazy. It's everywhere. It's in all the nooks and the crannies of the Palisades. One home's safe and the other one's up in flames. Actor James Woods posted footage of flames burning through bushes and past palm trees on a hill near his home. The towering orange flames billowed among the landscape between yards and the homes. Standing in my driveway, getting ready to evacuate, Woods said in a short video on X. So, Donald Trump responded to this, and he is blaming Gavin Newsom for the fire. President-elect Donald Trump blamed California Governor Gavin Newsom for the massive wildfires that are blazing through the Los Angeles area, arguing that they should have signed a declaration to pump more water through California to prevent the situation. Trump said Gavin Newsom refused to sign the water restoration declaration put before him that would have allowed millions of gallons of water from excess rain and snow melt from the north to flow daily into many parts of California, including the areas that are currently burning in virtually apocalyptic ways. The amount of water that can be pumped from the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta is limited under federal and state regulations to protect a fish called the smelt. Despite the first Trump administration in 2019 declaring pumping more water from the Delta to supply farms will not endanger the fish, California Matters reported at the time, he wanted to protect an essentially worthless fish called a smelt by giving it less water. It didn't work, but didn't care about the people of California. Now the ultimate price is being paid. I will demand that this incompetent governor allow beautiful, clean, fresh water to flow into California. He is to blame for this, he continued. On top of it all, no water for fire hydrants, no firefighting planes, a true disaster. Newsom and President Biden announced last month new rules to carry water to California farmers as well as Los Angeles area residents as a modification of the 2019 Trump-era regulation. Environmental advocates had pushed for the new rule in order to protect fish. Well, at least the fish are safe.
Are they though? Because I mean, I think fire, when all the water's gone, might kill the fish too.
They're safe. They're in the water. Fire can't hurt water. It can't heat it up and kill the fish inside of it. That's never happened. So, don't worry.
That's right.
The fish are fine. What do you guys think? What's going on with the wildfires?
I asked this earlier, and is December like normal fire season for California?
What?
Is December like the normal fire season?
I don't think so.
I don't remember December being the normal tornado season for Oklahoma, but here we are.
Yeah, Solitaire Ranch, who's in California, said they don't have water to fight the fire. Hydrants have run dry. Yeah, we're hearing that a lot right now. That's a big, big issue. And I'm not saying that some Donald Trump declaration would have fixed this. I'm just saying if your focus as a firefighting institution in Los Angeles is DEI hires and not fighting fires, you've probably got bigger issues, which is seemingly what happened. We've seen it happen before. Not that I don't think fair and equitable employment is important. It is. No, they're boiling. Boiled smelt. I wonder if you could smell it. Ugh. Grief. Fire Sharknadoes. I like my fish cooked, but this is a bit much. Dude. Oh, good grief. The conspiracy theorists are saying that they're trying to burn the evidence right now that exists in California. Whether that's actually the truth, I doubt it, but we'll see. We shall see.
Equal and opposite reactions since this side of the country is frozen. Yeah, we have one side that's frozen and one side that's on fire.
Yeah.
Rick, thank you for lunch. I see him now. He's here.
Rick is here. Fire Sharknadoes. Everybody wants the Fire Sharknadoes. This year is already nuts and it hasn't even started yet. Can they use electrolytes? I hear it's helpful for everything. Yeah, they probably could. Probably could. We just get them some salt. They'll be fine.
Can't imagine being fighting fire like that.
Gosh, could you? And they can't even get. They can't even get a freaking whatchamacallit in there.
Helicopter? Planes? Firefighting planes? Thoughts on these supposed emails from the Cybertruck guy? Hold on, Bob is texting me.
I'm sorry, I'm multiple things. Good grief. I can only put out so many fires. But
Oh my God.
see what I did there, people?
Yeah.
See what I did? Ha
We see it, Bob.
Good time to get some burn dressings. Oh my Ooh, jeez.
Tacky.
Tacky, too soon, too much, too fast. Call Flynn to come save them. Yeah, no
Thoughts on the
joke.
supposed emails from the Cybertruck guy?
We're gonna get into the Cybertruck here in a moment. We'll talk about it. Okay, so we're done with wildfires. We gotta talk about it. The most masculine, most capable prime minister of the world has resigned. Justin Trudeau.
Did he actually resign?
He resigned.
He said he was going to resign when a new one was picked, so did he just like flat out like, screw it, I'm done?
No, he's waiting for a new one to be picked.
Okay.
A heavily conservative, whatever that means, prime minister is up to bat, and it seems like he's going to take the win. So I intend to resign as party leader as prime minister after the party selects its new leader. The 53-year-old leader told reporters at a news conference in Ottawa on Monday. Canada's parliament will be suspended until March 24th while a new Liberal Party leader is chosen. Trudeau added that he has one regret: failing to reform Canada's election process. If I have one regret, particularly as we approach this election, well, probably many regrets that I will think of, the outgoing leader said. But I do wish I'd been able to change the way we elect our governments in this country so that people could simply choose a second choice or third choice on the same ballot. So,
Wait. Like, if I can't have this guy, I'll take this guy next. You know, he's my second best choice.
I'm sure that the people of Canada have many regrets when it comes to Justin Trudeau. The general sentiment right now in Canada is they're pumped. They're super pumped that this guy is out of there. So shout out to Justin Trudeau trying to leave.
They're even more pumped to be the 51st state.
We'll get into that. We'll get into the 51st state. I wish I could just install myself a dictator. If I have one regret, is that I didn't take this country by force. He did. He really, really did. All right, so we're going to talk about it. Obviously, a Cybertruck exploded in front of Trump Tower. Everybody's aware of it. Sean Ryan received multiple emails from this individual, as well as other organizations also received multiple emails from this individual talking about gravitational propulsion systems, secret technology that's been classified that he wants to whistleblow on. And then this guy supposedly, so this Green Beret supposedly detonated a IED. It was very poorly constructed in a Cybertruck after shooting himself in the head. Okay. With a 50 cal, with a 50 AE. But the video of the truck shows no muzzle flash. So that doesn't track.
Oh, I have a question. As a person who does not know much about, ballistics, but my husband made a comment that they say that like that he was found with like a hole
in his head.
But like shooting a gun of that with that caliber bullet would leave.
Oh, do we want to know what a 50 AE does to a head?
Like, doesn't it just like, That was a professional sound effect, by the way. Uh-oh.
Yeah, we'll do it.
He's gonna show it, guys. Prepare yourselves. If you are here and you don't like graphic things, we may. Oh wait, it probably won't be that graphic. It'll probably be like one of those jelly things, right? I hope.
Yeah.
Kermode beer. What head? But we all know that every time they talk about firearms, they always know what they're talking about.
Oh gosh. Okay. So that's from a pretty far distance, and it completely explodes that guy's brain. Like the top of his head's gone. That's a gel dummy. At a close distance, I would imagine if you go like this and you do that, it would be gone. Like the top of your head would be gone. I guess it would depend also on the round used. I don't even know if I'm sure there's 50 AE self-defense rounds. I feel like is a little bit foolish. So let's look at the information before we start to pontificate. Okay, so Green Beret, I believe a Master Sergeant. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well-known Green Beret.
Well-known Green Beret.
I mean, on the History Channel, like
on the History Channel with Tim Kennedy.
Yeah.
Which that's totally trustworthy individual, and hasn't been used by the agency at all. Okay, so well-known Green Beret, respected Green Beret, multiple combat deployments, goes off the deep end, supposedly, drives himself to the Trump Tower in a Tesla Cybertruck.
With the worst explosives.
That was rented. That he didn't buy.
Yeah.
And it was rented at the same location or rented by the same company that rented the truck that drove into the New Orleans.
Sketch.
Okay?
Sketch.
So that's where we're at right now.
Sketchy.
Same company rents both these trucks. Okay? Okay. Now, Tesla truck drives there. Supposedly, he shoots himself and detonates an explosive. But, now this Green Beret would have had access to...
He's like, let me get cans of fuel and fireworks, because that's...
Yes. So he uses camping fuel,
Yeah.
some gasoline, and some fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
This is a man who has had cross-training as to how to, literally create real explosives.
Yeah.
Even though that's not his MOS, he's not an engineer. There's zero chance that he didn't have breaching training, that he wasn't working with det cord, that he wasn't working with, C4 and all the good stuff, right? And he chooses camping fuel. Very small explosion. Controlled explosion in the Cybertruck, it goes up. Camera shows no muzzle flash in there. Now, here's some interesting things that we know. He said he was being followed. He said he was being tracked. He said that in emails to multiple other places. He said that that Mossad was monitoring his signal. Okay? He said don't.
Signal chat?
Yeah. He said don't use Signal. Mossad is monitoring it. And then he said, wait till you find out who the number one investor in Signal is. Do you know that? No, it's the CIA.
Oh.
Yeah. So, anyways. So, he says he's being tracked. He's trying to whistleblow. He's actively trying to whistleblow. He was trying to whistleblow in multiple different facets, on multiple different platforms, to people that he trusted. And then he turns up dead inside of an explosion.
Okay, I'm going to ask the obvious question. Was that him in there?
Are you asking if I think that?
Yeah, or just like people, tell us. Do you think that was him in there?
I don't think it was him.
The blood did not match his child.
Yeah, so that's another thing. The DNA did not, so we know that the DNA was inconclusive with his child. So either that's not his child or it's not him. So that's interesting. Now, this is a guy who's definitely capable of faking his own death.
Yeah. Maybe he's like, they're following me.
I'm going to try to...
I'm going to get out. Yeah, maybe he's like fled the country. Maybe he's Jason Bourning it right now. Somewhere. You know
Could
what I
be.
mean?
Could be actually Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne. So that's possible. But for what point? What is he trying to whistleblow on? Now you gotta understand, this is a highly intelligent individual. Highly intelligent individual. Okay? I don't believe anything they say on either side of it. If it was him, he didn't do it. It wasn't. Yeah. Wasn't he in drone warfare? I don't know all of his training. If you can believe it, they didn't send me his DD-214. I know that he was well trained from the people I've talked to already. I will say that if it was his body in there, he was probably murdered, put in that truck. The truck was then driven there remotely, because you can remote drive a Tesla truck, and then the explosion was remotely detonated in a small enough scale that it didn't harm anyone else. And you're probably thinking, hey, they wouldn't do a remote explosion in a way that wouldn't harm anyone else. I point you to December 25th, 2020, when an RV exploded outside of a Dominion warehouse hosting voting records. And there was a intercom speaker. By the way, the person who was driving that RV was mentally and physically handicapped. Okay? That's what his whole family has said, that it was impossible that he would have done that. So that's who's driving this RV. And there is an intercom playing, leave the area, this RV is going to explode in this time frame. Leave the area, this RV is going to explode. Right? And so it's just this is one of those things where it's like, I'm sure this isn't going to get talked about in 3 months. Now, a lot of big channels have picked up this news story, trying to run with it. Sean Ryan's running with it quite a bit, trying to get down to the bottom of it. The stuff that he was talking about seems to be related to the fake UFOs. That's what it seems to be related to. He did have some experience with drones. The gravitational propulsion systems that he was talking about is the same. Those are real patents that he was trying to leak. Hold on. I had to screen grab it. I don't even know if I should show this on here. Otherwise, I'm going to land in a truck. So you guys can pull up. What is the patent number here? I'm not going to say the patent number, but I'll show you. Can you see this? So this is what he was discussing. I'm not going to say it.
Oh my gosh. That looks just like a Ouija board thing.
So this is they're calling it a triangular spacecraft. This was published in 2006. This patent here. This is in relation to directly what that guy was trying to whistleblow on. Very concerning.
You know what a good question is? If everyone turned off their news and if everyone just started being good neighbors and like focusing on their 3-foot world, they wouldn't be able to control the narrative the same way. Because nobody would be obsessing over what they are telling everyone. You know what I'm saying?
So
I state for the record.
I state for the record that Bob has no intention of renting a Cybertruck for self-harm or other such deviance. I actually don't rent trucks. I love people. I have no intent on harming myself. I told my wife the other day that if I ever turned up dead and it was because of like self-harm, that I was obviously murdered for some other reasons because I love my life. Like, I love my wife. I love my kids. I love my job. I love Lamp. I love all the things. So, a lot of people are bringing up Greenbrier probably having DNA records just because high-dollar training. No. My question is, why are they setting up Green Berets? This is an unintentional push to turn on those that are capable of an actual Pineland scenario. Maybe this is or is not an explanation. I talked to a couple of buddies who are either still in special operations or just got out of special operations, and they have a large concern that this is an attempt to try to alienate people with special operations capability because the fight is becoming so technology driven with drones and with robot technology that those guys are going to become outdated soon. And so if they can alienate those individuals, then it becomes easier to do action against them. So 77% of people thought Trump was good, or is good. 22% think he's bad. Shout out to the 22%. You're my people. They use GBs because they are the most susceptible. They also could be using him. This could be a bad actor. Like, he could have just went dark, right? And they just fake killed him, and now he's working for the agency. That's totally possible. Not even close to the first time that's happened at all. And he's just going like super clandestine now as John Smith, right? I mean, this is somebody with deep military ties. Both of them come out of Bragg, which is interesting. Not that, I mean, there's a ton of people at Bragg, but you got to understand the other units that are there and how deep the agency has ties in Bragg. Very deep. Like very, very deep. And so it's, dude, I don't trust this. This doesn't smell. It reeks. It makes my eyes water. Right. So that stings the nostrils. And then you have the attack in New Orleans, flying an ISIS flag.
22% shirts coming soon.
Yeah, heck yeah. Send me one, SOE inspector. Man, I just don't buy that was an actual attack in New Orleans. And this is going to sound really bad when I say this, so just listen to me for a second.
Don't listen to me for a second.
There's not enough dead people.
That's it.
So here's the thing. If you're AQ, or if you're hummus, or the ISIS, and you have all these sleeper cells here, and you're going to do your first attack, and you're going to fly your flag and claim it. First of all, they always claim it, and they're not claiming it. They make videos of the beheadings, okay, to instill fear. All right? You're telling me that one dude and apparently some other people who maybe helped try to plant explosives, but none of them were successful, just drives into a crowd, and nobody else, like there's nobody else in the back of that truck that gets out and also starts firing guns? Like they didn't have other people in the truck? It's not adding up, guys. It's not adding up. What is the narrative, right? Remember, 9/11, there was a passport that had magically not gotten burned that they found on the side of the street. Within hours, they knew that it was Osama bin Laden. Like, don't fall for the emotionality of it, right? This is obvious. And shout out to the cops that responded and put that guy down. I think they did a great job. Shout out to the people who rendered aid, all that. They're freaking gangsters. I still don't believe for a second that this was a genuine terroristic attack. I just don't believe it. It doesn't... I mean, it was obviously terroristic, but I don't think the narrative that they're sharing right now makes sense. You're telling me that Guys, we don't know the kid who shot at Trump. Like, we've never seen his house or anything like that. And within 24 hours, CNN is touring the bomb maker's house.
No. Yeah. The lady with her little puffer jacket in there with nobody in there with her. And she's like, here's his living room.
Yeah.
With all of the electronics.
After the FBI raid, obviously the door is torn off the
And they
hinge.
left it completely the same.
Bro. Reeks. Yes, remember, Striker Cade, I love you. They're getting ready to pull Building 7. Remember that quote. They're getting ready to pull Building 7. Remember it. Remember it.
Okay.
Guys, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's definitely not a goat. Okay?
It's a goose. It's a duck.
Yeah. That's the thing is like, you only get one first, right? And so if you're going to do it for the first time, you're going to do it. And I don't know, they're pretty organized. Look at the last 20 years. They've gotten really good at synchronized attacks. They've gotten really good at doing big staged attacks and filming it so that way they can garner more followers and more supporters. Like, you're telling me just one city? In just one place with one guy? You're not going to at least do 2 on New Year's Eve? 3? And you choose New Orleans? You don't do New York City? You don't do Chicago?
Do you think he could have been radicalized and just like not? I mean, who radicalized him?
I think absolutely he could have been radicalized. I think he probably was radicalized. I just don't think he was radicalized by the actual organization.
Yeah.
I think he was radicalized by the agency acting as that organization, and that he was going to go do these things and he was going to get all this support, and it wasn't actually the organization. Because not even close to the first time that we've had double and triple agents. Okay, what about the supposed illegal who lets that woman on fire in the subway, and now not one person had went and tried to help in any way? Even a cop supposedly walked by and didn't help. Fake news? Possibly.
Yeah, I don't.
I also think that picture was that picture where the cop is walking by. I don't know how accurate that is. Like, and the context really matters, right? Like, what are you gonna do? You gonna hop on the fire? Could it be AI? Could it? I'm really cautious right now, because what's the point? So the emotional connection, they want this emotional connection. Like, how can we get them to make an emotional decision? That's what happened in 2001. Remember, when we went into GWAT, everybody had an emotional connection because everyone sat and watched the towers fall. And we were like, oh my God, we watched the plane fly into the building, right? We watched it. Very emotional. Toby Keith, I'll put a boot in your ass. It's the American way, right? There's emotional. We were like, yes, revenge. Let's go, baby. And then for 20 years, we fought for opium, and we fought for minerals, and we fought for oil, and we fought for the, support of the freaking Defense Logistics Agency and the major defense companies. Like, that's it. It wasn't, and we didn't win. Like, nothing, we didn't win anything. There was no victory there. George Bush might have sat on an aircraft carrier and said mission accomplished, but the mission wasn't accomplished. Like, I warned homeless homies about that stuff for years. Yeah, I mean, dude, I don't know. It definitely doesn't smell like a goat. I just don't trust it. And all this happens right after Sarah McAdams' big podcast with Sean Ryan talking about terrorists and all that. Call me a critic. Call me a critic. I'm a critic. That's okay. We spent $1 trillion to replace the Taliban with the Taliban. Yeah. And literal dudes that were on our hit list are now running the country, and we're like Americans that don't know that and don't pay attention to history are like, oh yeah, that's a great leader for Syria. It's like, that guy who killed women in the streets, that's the guy you want. And honestly, I don't even care. Pull all of our resources out of there. Get out of there. Let's focus on our own backyard. Have you guys been to Detroit? It's really bad. Have you been to Chicago? It's not super great. Tulsa, not a cool place. Right? Like, we got our own problems. We're living in a reenactment of COD Black Ops 2 and COD Advanced Warfare. Yeah, the two are combining right now. My friend's sister was killed at Fort Hood by that major, but there are signs way before that took place. Yeah, I'm sure.
Wait, what?
I don't know. That'd be hard to prove. Yeah, guys, I definitely wouldn't pay attention right now. But all of this points to there's probably going to be more attacks and false flags because they're trying to elicit some sort of emotional reaction, and I don't think they're getting what they want yet.
I wouldn't go to big events.
I would not go to big events right now. Coming out of Venezuela, foreign mercenaries detained in Venezuela and accused of preparing a terrorist attack. Venezuela has detained foreign mercenaries who, according to the country's newly elected president, were planning to commit a terrorist attack. He announced this on television late in the evening of January 7th, last night. During a speech, Nicolas Maduro announced that foreign mercenaries from the war in Ukraine who were preparing a series of terrorist attacks have been detained in Venezuela. Just today, we captioned 7 foreign mercenaries, including 2 from the United States. That sounds like the agency. He's currently preparing for his 3rd inauguration as he intends to take office for a 3rd term. The Venezuelan media did not publish any photos of the detainees or any other details of the operation, which would likely be a part of Maduro's political campaign. So far, neither the U.S. Department of State nor the Colombian Ministry of Foreign Affairs has given an official response to the details about the detention of the citizens. Venezuelan authorities detained 2 Colombian citizens in Caracas and transferred them to Russia, which plans to try them. the sister of one of the detainees that said they had attracted the attention of the Venezuelan police because they had been wearing Ukrainian military uniforms. So, like, who's running the operations in Ukraine? Why is there two people from the United States there? What is actually happening? Why are they trying to do this? This is not the first time that the U.S. has meddled in Venezuela, right? And so it's not just here. Also look at Germany, right? So a sixth person has died after more than 2 weeks of attacks since the Christmas market in Germany last month. The 52-year-old woman had been critically injured on December 20th during an attack. Authorities say at least 299 people were injured after the suspect plowed into a crowd with a BMW. He was arrested on the scene and ordered into pretrial detention, facing charges of murder, attempted murder, and dangerous bodily harm. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has promised to investigate in depth an attack on Friday at a Christmas market in Magdeburg, in which a car plowed into crowds that left 5 dead, including a child, and injured more than 200 people. Appearing at a Saturday presser, the German leader called it a dreadful tragedy. Germany currently is facing an immense amount of attacks. They've been having literal bombings, people driving into parades, gunfire erupting in the street. The police don't know what to do. The individuals are using fireworks and tying them together and creating huge explosives. They're blowing up cars, and it's getting buried right now. So we have Venezuela, we have Germany, we have the U.S. France has been facing a lot of issues as well. All of this does add in together, right? It really does have an effect because we got to look at the whole picture. It's just rough. If the narrative is designed to make you scared or happy, it's most certainly manipulation. If it's designed to make you love God, then it's also manipulation, but the good kind. Gang, gang. Dang, so many angles. What's up, Radio Made Easy? Hello, free people. So, guys, we can't just allow... Remember, media is just that. It's media. It's literal. We made propaganda legal in the United States. You have to remember that. Everything you're seeing is through a filter of legalized propaganda. So what is it trying to propagandize you for? What direction is it trying to steer you in? Is it a good direction? Is it a bad direction? Why? All of that really, really matters.
There's so many, like you said, there's so many different angles, but you can't take it at face, like what they're telling you now, like we'll use 9/11 as an example.
Because it's easy.
The first interviews that were going out, they were talking about hearing explosions and stuff like this, right? But as time went on,
never forget
what happened.
No, there was no explosions. You can see it.
So you really
yes, correct, Striker Cade. Obama made propagandizing Americans legal in 2012. He signed an executive order that allowed it.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. But we forget that. We forget that. Propaganda is legal.
Remember when, like, reporters would get murdered?
Yeah.
Trying to investigate stuff because they wanted to know like,
yep.
what was really going on.
Don't worry, they still do. It's called getting Clinton. I point you to Seth Rich. Or Seth Green. Like, it's a real thing that happens. I think it was Seth Green that got shot in the back of the head twice in the robbery where his wallet, watch, and phone were still present. Yeah. Okay. What was he investigating? The Clintons. Who just received the Presidential Medal of Honor or Freedom or whatever the crap it is. Like, this is... Guys, you have to pay attention right now. You have to be aware and alert. Do not allow yourself to be emotionally manipulated to make decisions politically, ethically, or morally based off of an emotional driver inside of the media. The first question we should always ask, is this real? How is this real? Why is this real? Right? I mean, the propaganda was pretty good. He overturned a long-standing legislation and mainstream media didn't say a word. Yeah, why didn't they say a word? Who owned the mainstream media? What organizations were funding those mainstream media platforms to where they didn't say a word? And what organizations were then getting kickbacks because of it? How did the intelligence agencies respond to his legalizing of propagandizing? I mean, come on. I repeat, Bob is not sad. Bob is not sad. I am feeling great. I love my life. I love being alive. I would never hurt myself or anyone else. I don't have any intentions of renting a car. I'm very aware of my surroundings and could not be robbed to where I get shot in the back of the head twice. If I was in a robbery, I would give them my wallet. I would not defend myself. So, you know, the little things. Sia Tafibbi. Yeah, Sia Tafibbi. Don't ever forget Sia Tafibbi.
Cloverleaf Precision.
Cloverleaf Precision's in the house. So, guys, with all this happening, I really do urge you to be super attentive right now to your surroundings, to the people that you're coming in contact with, to your location, to where you're traveling, who you're traveling with, any new friends that are just popping up in your life. Be super observant to, you know. Oh, hey, man, you know, I see you're into this. I see you're into that. I want to be friends with you, yada, yada, yada. That's called a bump. I'm not, personally, I'm in a season right now. I'm not really interested in new friends. I love the friends I have. You know, I keep a close eye on your circle. Make sure your circle isn't getting influenced in any way to do illegal or immoral or unethical things. Don't allow yourself to get, you know, caught up in some nonsense. Focus more on food than on guns. Focus more. How about this? Focus on being the body of Christ.
Thank you.
What about your what about your witness? What about your worship? What about your message that you're carrying that glorifies and edifies the Most High living God?
Are you being a light?
Are you being a light right now in this dark world?
Are people seeing the love of Yeshua through you, or seeing hatred and darkness?
Yeah. Also, let's clarify here, guys. The reason that we focus so much on med gear is you have a positive effect, right? You have the ability to carry stuff on you to help somebody who's been hurt, and that itself is a witness and testimony. Remember, Messiah, Yeshua, was a healer, right? He rendered aid. First Stop the Bleed program, woman with the tassels, okay? So let's go ahead and focus in here and look at all these bad things that are happening and go, you know what? I'm not going to participate in a fear campaign. I'm not going to participate in demonic activity. I'm not going to allow myself and my family to be subjected to emotional manipulation. We are going to focus on the word of Elohim. We're going to focus on the Most High living God, on being good in this world, in a source for good, right? And live only for the Christ. Like, die to self, right? Sure, I don't want to go do this. Sure, I don't want to do that, but I will do it under the glory of the Most High Master, right? Help someone else. Absolutely, Red. Be a force for good right now. It's really, really important. It's 2025. Everything is getting more expensive. We're going to raise our prices. We have to, right? You guys should probably get your med gear now before we do. And make sure that you have extras to carry in your EDC. I'm trying to beef up my own EDC. I'm carrying an ankle kit, but I'm also carrying some other stuff on me in case I have to render aid. You know, stay close to your tools that give you the capability to help others. That's really, really, really important. You know, don't allow yourself to be emotionally manipulated right now. That's the big thing. Don't allow yourself to be emotionally manipulated. Okay? With that, I mean, that's the news for today. We were going to talk about the Gulf of Mexico turning into Gulf America.
Call it its right name.
Just who cares? This I don't care. I just guys, I just don't care about that. That is propaganda. That's eliciting an emotional response. People are getting emotional about something that does not matter. There are people that do not have food in their house, in your county, in your town, and you're worried about what a body of water is called by a group of people that you will never meet. It is stupid. It literally is dumb. Okay? The 51st state argument, dumb, waste of time. Stop. Pay attention. Pay attention. Are you being a light in your community? Are you helping others? Are you blessing others? There's winter storms coming. Are you going to shovel somebody else's driveway or bring them food or milk or bread or whatever? Like, come on. Who cares about who's playing golf in America? I don't even golf. Faux golfs. But I'm not even good at it. Heath golfs. but it seems like a dumb sport.
They just really enjoy being on the green for a couple hours smoking a cigar.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't do it very often.
Good for them, man. That's awesome. I pray it gives them peace. I'm ordering monthly. That's awesome. Yeah, guys, don't get caught up in the nonsense. Get your gear while you can. Prices are going to go up here probably the end of the month. So, you know, get it while you can.
Oh, yeah, two things. Prices, because we're dealing with a lot of other companies that help supply, raising theirs. So
Yeah,
just happens.
it's what it is. Every year it happens. Inflation.
But we officially have for January the digital version of the webinar.
Yeah.
Going out with every order over $100. So like every person who's ordering is getting to do that course,
Yep.
the online course, which is super exciting. There's going to be so many more people who know how to wound pack and know how to apply tourniquet. So if you've been waiting to grab something, just know this month you will be getting the webinar for free, which is awesome.
Brennan, I will give you a discount for the next refuge responder if you bring a couple. Go ahead and email bob@refugemedical.com. bob@refugemedical.com.
Hit that like button, please.
Hit that like button, guys. Get your free bleeding prevention webinar. $100 or more. You get a digital download. Get to study at home, which is very, very cool. Ankle kits. What's the status? February.
Yeah. Actually, I think they're in production like really soon.
But they won't be ready till February.
Okay. Oh, you know what we didn't do? And I'm going to be the person that picks person today. If you go, our highlighted person of the day is going to be Hunter. Our employee of the day is going to be Hunter. So
Anybody who goes and leaves a review for Hunter, for every star that Hunter gets, he gets $1. So you go to Google and you leave a review commenting on Hunter. For every star that Hunter gets, he gets
Hooter.
$1.
You guys know him as Hooter and Tora.
That's Hooter and Tora, right? So for every star that Hunter gets, he gets $1. Big deal.
Yeah.
Big haps there, right? So go help Hunter out. Google.com, Google reviews. Type in Refuge Medical, leave a review or write a review, and mention Hunter. If you leave him 1 star, he gets $1. If you give him 5 stars, he gets $5. You're basically giving that guy a bonus,
Yeah.
right? So help Hunter get a bonus by leaving him a review. Say he's good looking, all that stuff, right? So go leave Hunter a review, and yeah, that's pretty much what we got today.
All right, y'all.
I hope you guys have an awesome day. Remember to carry your freaking gear on you right now. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. I'll see you all soon. Carry an effing tourniquet. I love you. Shalom.